In this video, I'm going to be listing all the reasons why you should vote for the Good Food Institute in this year's Project for Awesome. The Good Food Institute accelerates our food system towards one that is much more environmentally friendly, kind to animals, and much less of a public health risk. GFI does this by supporting the industries that make meat alternatives from plants, grow meat directly from cells, which we call cultivated meat, or use microbes to create proteins via fermentation. For an example of that last one, a company called Perfect Day uses microbes to create the protein found in milk, no cows involved. So, why do we want to change how we get our protein? It turns out that animal agriculture contributes to many big problems, and therefore we can do a lot of good in many areas by switching to alternative proteins. We all know that we need to achieve a carbon neutral economy. When we think about food and emissions, we may think about the distance our food travels to reach us, but different foods vary widely in the emissions required to create them in the first place. Animal agriculture accounts for 20% of greenhouse gas emissions, and the demand for meat is increasing worldwide as countries become wealthier. Plant-based and cultivated meat can be a green solution, potentially causing up to 90% fewer emissions than conventional meat. A transition to plant-based or cultivated meat will be required to stay below 1.5 degrees of warming, according to one study. In addition to emitting a lot of greenhouse gases, animal agriculture also requires clearing a lot of land for farming. One consensus coming out of COP15 in 2022 was that the global food system is the primary driver of biodiversity loss. Changing how we make meat, seafood, eggs, and dairy could free up 3 billion hectares of land, a landmass double the size of China and India combined, and reduce incentives to clear further land. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria kill more than 1 million people a year, more than the number of people killed by road injuries, and that number is estimated to increase to 10 million by 2050. If the various antibiotic-resistant bacteria were one single animal, it would be the deadliest animal to humans by a wide margin. In modern farming practice, millions of animals are fed antibiotics just in case they get sick. This is done because it's not economical to provide individualized care to animals on industrial farms. This practice breeds antibiotic-resistant bacteria and could be avoided entirely with plant-based or cultivated proteins. In addition to antibiotic-resistant bacteria, tens of millions of cooped-up farm animals are breeding deadly viruses. There are periodic cases of zoonotic diseases transmitted from farm animals to humans. Fortunately, human-to-human transmission of such diseases is rare, but we are playing with fire by accepting this risk that each zoonotic disease probably won't transmit between humans. More rarely, one of these diseases will jump from one human to another and we get a new pandemic. Anyway, this is what life is like for those farm animals we've been talking about. Industrial-scale farming operations subject a staggering number of animals to terrible lives. The industry treats animals like things. Most of the farmed animals are chickens, and I find it hard to imagine that their lives are worth living in these conditions. So there are a lot of reasons to move away from our current food system of animal agriculture. How does the Good Food Institute help? GFI produces and shares open access research to advance alternative proteins. They connect researchers and entrepreneurs with funders and policymakers. They connect the industry as a whole and champion its interests. In November, lab-grown meat was approved by the FDA for the first time, a huge milestone that GFI has been working towards for years. We need the Good Food Institute to win these battles for the alternative protein industry, to bring about a food system that better protects the environment and our health. Please vote for this video to support them. Thanks for watching.